What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys have all had a great Thursday. Hope you guys are ready for another live 2023 fantasy football mock draft with you guys, of course, with The Catch fam. Super excited to be here tonight. As always, super excited to talk some fantasy football with you guys tonight and throw together another fantasy football squad. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button on the way in. Hit that like button as well. But most importantly, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing. And of course, any fantasy football topics, redraft, dynasty, best ball, whatever it may be, any NFL topics, throw them in the live chat. Let's get it going. We're going to have some fun tonight and talk some fantasy football. So, not really any NFL news to go over today, unfortunately. We've got the Cowboys picking up CeeDee Lamb's fifth-year option. So, I mean, it's a great deal for them. Obviously, they want to get him for as cheap as possible for one more year before they more than likely offer him a good-looking contract as his rookie contracts and fifth-year option expire. So, other than that, like we talked about last time, we've got a lot of speculation and just a lot of anticipation waiting for the NFL draft, and that's all we've really got going on at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and send out one last warning on Discord. We'll just kick this off at 11 p.m. Eastern Time sharp for those of you guys who are drafting. So I'll go ahead and get that message out. All right. All right, that works. All right, man. Appreciate you guys joining the draft tonight. Appreciate you guys spending part of your night here at the channel. Like I said, if there's any topics, anything that came up throughout the day that you guys do want to bring up, please let me know, and we'll hop into it. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Tom Brady asked if he would like to unretire and play for the Dolphins, and he said no. We've got Matt Patricia expected to be added to the Philadelphia Eagles staff. Kind of just in a defensive coaching position, not really announced as any official position. So that was interesting to me. I mean, I think Matt Patricia certainly knows what he's doing in terms of the defensive side of things. So I think it's interesting. The Commanders, according to reports, are viewing Sam Howell as their likely future starter, which we already anticipated. But it does kind of clear things up, so to speak, in terms of if Washington's looking at a quarterback in this year's coming draft. So it does not look like early on they will be doing so. All right, I forgot. We got to set the draft order for the night. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got 1 minute till we kick off, everybody. So make sure you guys are in here. Full PPR, of course. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, 2 flex spots. We've got 6 bench spots on the night. So, less than 1 minute. Make sure you guys are ready. We're going to kick this off very shortly here. So, all right, let's see who's in the live chat. J-Dubs, what's going on? Boxing the Jack. Appreciate you guys being here. What's going on, everybody? Waiting for the auction draft mocks after the NFL draft. I'm excited to. We'll probably run an auction mock, like, I don't know. I'd like to start running those just on like Saturday nights, like kind of make it a weekly thing. So we'll see, man. Coast to Coast, what's going on, my guy? Hello, hello. Astro, what's going on? How are you doing? Hello. Chase, what's going on, my guy? Hello, hello. Yeah, Hal was a great option, great value overall. I mean, really, I think if Hal was coming out, I don't know. There's some speculation he could have been, if he came out in a different draft class, could have been drafted a little bit higher. All right, we're kicking off this draft whether you guys are ready or not. So, you know the drill. If you miss your pick, you'll get an auto, and then you guys just hop in when you're ready. But looks like most everyone's here. So, draft is underway. Matt's in the house. What's going on, my guy? Hello, hello. How we doing, man? Smokey the Cat, what's going on? Always good to see you in the house. What's up, what's up? Feel so out of it lately, but I'm 1,000% active by late May. Hey, you're good. I mean, a lot of the fantasy community, especially if you don't play Dynasty, this is your time to kind of relax and everything. So, but I do feel like, last offseason I felt the same way. I feel like the offseason just flew. by, and I feel like this offseason is going by even quicker. So it'll be here before you know it. I know you guys are, taking this time of year to kind of take a break for the most part, but yeah, after the NFL draft, things are going to start picking up slowly but rapidly at the same time. Can you explain how an auction dynasty would be ran? Sure. I mean, it's essentially just like a redraft auction mock, but it's in a dynasty format. I don't really feel like a lot of leagues necessarily want to combine dynasty and auction formats, but I do know that some leagues do. I know a lot of leagues don't because things can get out of hand pretty quickly. But yeah, that would essentially be what you're looking at is just think of a redraft auction mock, but you're drafting for a dynasty team. And it would take a very long time. I don't know. Do you guys see a lot of leagues out there doing that? Because I don't personally believe a lot of leagues do. Thomas, what's up, my guy? Hello, hello. How we doing, man? Man, hockey team's looking pretty good tonight, man. I think I'm done betting against the Kraken. Colorado's just been like a favorite, but man. It looks like they're... I mean, last I checked at least. I don't know. It's been a little bit, but I think I'm done betting against your hockey team, Thomas. All right. Where do I want to go with this next pick? Went Kelsey at the 1.9. Man, I wanted Amon Ra. Of course, Michael's next to me. We need to change the draft order. I mean, still plenty of good players right here. Give me the veteran squad. Give me Adams. Matt, I agree this offseason seems quicker because I'm in Dynasty, more active. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, Dynasty, like, once you join a Dynasty league, there's no break. Your breaks are gone. If you're truly invested, that is. I mean, I guess if you don't care, there's some time to take a break. But, yeah, if you're truly invested, you're going to be researching essentially year-round. So, but yeah, it definitely helps to speed. I mean, really, like, there is no offseason if you play in Dynasty, right? Thomas, going to the Mariners Cardinals game tomorrow. That'll be fun, man. I haven't been at a baseball game in a long time. We used to go to a Nats game like pretty regularly, but I haven't been in a long time. Yeah, hey, I think I'm done betting in that series for now, Thomas. But I'm rooting. Technically I have a bet against Seattle today, but I'm rooting for Seattle. Why not, man? Mr. Curly Wolf's in the house. What's up, dude? Long time no see. How are you? Hello, hello. Always good to have you in the building, my guy. Hope everything's going fantastic for you, man. All right, so pretty heavy wide receiver draft overall so far, but a decent amount of running backs here as well, and Kelsey sprinkled in there too. So we've got Amon Ra, Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Olave, Metcalf. In the second round, running backs are looking at Barkley, Jacobs, Bijan, Breece Hall, and Henry. Into the third round we go. Top 12 off the board, J.J. Chase, Kupp, C-Mac, Eckler, Tyreek Hill, Diggs, Lamb, Kelsey, Walker, A.J. Brown, and J.T. To kick off the third round, we've got Chubb off the board. How are you guys feeling about Derrick Henry right now? He goes at the 2.7 tonight. He's still the 5th rated overall player on Sleeper and full PPR formats. How do you guys feel about him? Going at the 2.7, I still feel like he's a pretty good value. Obviously, guys like Bijan, Breece Hall, Walker are giving you a lot more upside. So right now, at least in today's draft, we've got C-Mac, Eckler, Walker, Taylor, Barkley, Jacobs, Bijan, Hall, Henry. So that puts Henry as the 8th RB off the board. And in the third round, you see Chubb, Stevenson, Pollard gone so far. Mr. Curly Wolf, who do you think drafts Bijan? So there were some reports today that came out that said that Bijan has only had official visits with the Eagles and the Buccaneers. So that certainly makes things interesting. I mean, just because he didn't have official meetings with other teams doesn't mean that other teams are looking at him or have him on their board by any means. But Uh, yeah, I at the end of the day, man, I don't know. I mean, we've talked so much about this so far throughout the off season, and as poor of an answer it is, I could literally just see Bijan going to any team. But the Eagles are becoming a higher likelihood in my book, which I wasn't quite there at first because I do feel like the Eagles, could add value at other positions and maybe feel like they need to do so. But hold on, let me make this draft pick very quickly here. I probably need to take a running back off the board, but I feel like there are better available receivers on the board. So let's take DJ Moore right here. To be honest, I kind of was eyeing Mahomes to get the Kelsey stack, but we'll live. But yeah, just after the Jalen Hurts contract, and obviously the Eagles investing in Jalen Hurts for the long term, as effective as Jalen Hurts is on the ground, I do think there's a strong case for the Eagles going after Bijan. Right? Nick Sirianni's offense, they run the football a ton. Don't get me wrong. They've got Rashad Penny, they've got Kenneth Gainwell, they've got Boston Scott, they've got viable options at the running back position. But, if you draft a player like Bijan, barring a huge setback in terms of a very unfortunate, massive injury, like, you're going to have a starting running back who's durable, proven, consistent, checks all the boxes for 5 years. At worst, right? So I just think that takes so much pressure off of Jalen Hurts in terms of him, staying healthy down the stretch. So I just think that there's actually a very strong likelihood that Bijan does go to the Eagles. And you guys know that I love my boy Kenneth Gainwell, but I just think that the case is certainly there for Bijan to go to the Eagles. We'll see. But like I've said before, guys, I will not be surprised. Any team that takes Bijan, I just won't be surprised, Curly Wolf, I draft Henry whenever I can. He's got one in the tank, in my opinion. Got my trophy for the dub last year this past weekend. Let's go. Oh, you just share a name on it? That does hurt. But the way the season ended, it makes sense. Matt, Dynasty is my break. It's what I do when I'm on the couch. Prefer Dynasty over redraft for now. I like that. Curly Wolf, I could see him going Eagles for sure. And then when we here in Dallas weep, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. You could literally make the argument for Bijan going to any team, and it would make sense. Albert, what's up, my guy? Hello. 100%, Matt. Yeah, you don't have a choice to not be active in Dynasty if you want to win. 100%. Box in the Jack. Pierce gone early. At 3.11, Emil wanted him. When we look at the running backs right now, it's a pretty interesting tier, as Jones and Cook are the only running backs selected in the 4th round. Very heavy wide receiver round with Ridley, D-Hop, Cooper, London, JSN, Watson, Judy, McLaurin off the board. Jones, Cook, the only running backs, like I said, Hurts and Burrow gone. Fields kicks off the 5th round. 5th round is underway. Coast to Coast says we're reaching today with some of these picks. I like it. Hey, man, have the conviction. Go out and get your guys. Man, Kupp, Waddle, and Devonta Smith is just a filthy trio. J-Dub says Dynasty is the best thing I got into. I'm so excited for our Dynasty leagues this year. I really am. Hope you guys are too. Mr. Curly, well, thank you for coming by, man. It's always good to see you, my guy. We will talk to you soon, my dude. All right, Lockett and Kirk gone. Great values there in the 5th. Mandrew's gone. That's our second tight end off the board, not gone until 5.6. I have no idea where I'm going to go with this next pick. So I'm gonna try and take whoever Michael might draft. My plan. Just kidding, Michael. I probably realistically need to go running back right here. Yeah, running backs are starting to get a little spooky. I'll take Monty off the board. I think Monty's going to score a lot of touchdowns this year. I like to start this team. We have some work to do at running back, but I like this team overall so far. Adams, Moore, London. I think good value on all those guys. If I didn't go Adams, could have gone Higgins, Wilson, Waddle, Lave, Metcalf. I'll take Adams all day long, though. Did one Amon Ra, but I'll go Adams for sure. All right, 5th round wrapping up here. Got 2 quarterbacks gone, Fields and Herbert. 2 tight ends, Hawkinson and Andrews. 3 running backs, Sanders, Monty, Connor. Wide receivers gone. We got Mike Williams, Lockett, Kirk, Godwin, and Hollywood Brown. Into the 6th round we go, ladies and gentlemen. Matt, I'm glad to see this mock at QB didn't go in the 1st round. Never fails for someone always drafts quarterback in the 1st round. You know, at the beginning of the offseason, that was certainly happening, like end of the 1st, beginning of the 2nd, but those ADPs have been pushed back a little bit. But I'm sure, you know, if you're doing like random mocks with, you know, maybe people who aren't as committed or draft as often, you'll probably still see some mocks out there where Mahomes or Allen are going in the 1st. Ooh, tough pick for me here. But I'm going to go T-Law. I'm going to have an interesting... I'm going to be in an interesting position here. I'm going to have to really clean up at running back. And we'll just kind of see how this rolls out here. But I think we'll be all right. Everything else looks great. I mean, that's the good news is we're still going to have to get some wide receiver depth towards the end of this draft. And we're going to clean up at running back. But other than that, I think we're in a decent position. So we'll see what happens. There goes Mixon. Something random. Oakland A's bought to move to a $1 billion stadium in Vegas. I did see something about that. Actually, I think what I saw was you posting it. All right, 6th round going by quickly here. 2 quarterbacks gone so far in T-Law and Lamar. A couple receivers, Evans, Ayuk, Pittman, Dotson. 1 running back, Mixon. 1 tight end, and Goddard. All right, 6th round. Who you guys drafting? Mike Evans or Michael Pittman? Let me know in the chat. You going with the veteran? Or are you going with the younger guy who we're not really sure is going to be throwing him the football? Bonus question, which running back are you drafting? Cam Akers or J.K. Dobbins? That might be a better question. Both have a little bit of an injury history. Andrew, how are you doing? Hello, hello. Thank you for coming out tonight. Always good to see you. Praise in the house. What's going on? Hello, hello. Always good to see you as well. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Dobbins versus Akers. I think I'll go Akers by a hair. Maybe not even by a hair. I like Akers. I do. But what I'm more worried about, and this could certainly happen for the Baltimore Ravens as well, but I'm worried that the Rams are going to draft a running back. You know, when you look at this roster with Kyron Williams, Ronnie Rivers behind Cam Akers, I mean, Kyron, I do like. There's definitely value there. But, you know, if a player like Zach Charbonnet is there at the right value for them, or I mean, gosh, there's just so many good running backs in this class. But I don't know. At the moment, I do like Cam Akers. I'm a Cam Akers fan. Just at his current value, you know, as long as I don't draft a running back, I'm okay with Cam Akers. You get that value that he brought the last, you know, weeks 13 through week 18 of last season was on fire. So Chase, I hate Baker for fantasy. I mean, you know, I don't exactly love him, but I don't know. There is a scenario where the Bucks draft a quarterback, trade up for a guy like Will Levis. We'll see. I don't, even if they do that, I don't think that a rookie quarterback will be starting for them this season. But we'll see what happens. I do think Baker is going to be the starter for majority of the season, even if he is a bridge quarterback. But I like Godwin a hair more in full PPR right now. But I do think that Godwin and Evans could still have decent seasons, even with Baker at quarterback. All right, I've got to go running back here, so give me Pacheco. Give me Pacheco. Not in a position to not go running back. Interesting tier of wide receivers on the board at the moment. Herbert's gone. Ingram's gone. One more pick in the 7th round before we move into the 8th round. All right, Matt says Pittman. Thomas says Pittman. Akers versus Dobbins. Close. Both are injury prone. Matt says Dobbins. Matt says I don't like McVay for fantasy running backs. Far too inconsistent. That's a good point. I mean, what was it? 2021? Yeah. Was a season where you had, oh goodness. I mean, Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers at the very end of the year, and Sony Michel. I mean, it was just like a complete carousel. You just could never tell who was going to get the fantasy value throughout the season. And that was part of the reason why I was staying away from Cam Akers going into last year. Outside of the fact that I thought that Henderson was a good value at the end of drafts. But honestly, both ended up being kind of just inconsistent overall. At Akers, the end of the season was good. If you had Henderson the first couple of games, it was also good. All right, I've still got to go running back here, so I'm going to go A.J. Dillon. I was kind of hoping Kamara might fall out. I felt like that'd be fun, but we'll survive. I like A.J. Dillon still going into next season. Which brings up a question. Let's do another one. Let's do A.J. Dillon or Jamal Williams. Why not? They're right next to each other on the board. There's a big question in terms of Jamal Williams I said in terms like twice in a row. But is Kamara going to get suspended is the bigger question, because that's going to impact what Jamal Williams' overall volume looks like, I actually think if Kamara's there, that you could get some pretty decent value out of Jamal being like a RB2. I don't know. But either way, I don't think it really matters. I think Jamal Williams in the 8th round right now is a decent value. Taylor Gang says Jamal Williams over A.J. Dillon. Thomas says Dillon all day. Can't wait for his true opportunity. Yeah, I still think Jones going to be decently involved, but I still like A.J. Dillon. And you really saw A.J. Dillon start to get going the end of last season. And I just hope that whatever type of split that was, they can just keep it consistent. And, with the departure of Aaron Rodgers, you would expect him to run the football a bit more. So, but A.J. Dillon was like my guy. One of my guys last offseason. I mean, I felt like I literally pushed A.J. Dillon up in ADP and, at least in the Catch Fam tournament. I just counted him off my board because, I mean, he was going way against most ADPs out there. But Taylor Gang, I think Aaron Jones still has one more year. Yeah, I definitely think he's going where he's being drafted right now. I still think he's worth that value. AJ Dillon wasn't that good to score a lot of touchdowns. Take away some of those touchdowns, he's not nearly as good for fantasy. Not efficient. Yeah, that's fair too. 7 touchdowns last year, 7 the year before, 5 on the ground, 2 in the air 2 years ago, 7 on the ground last year. 2022, McVay had said that Akers had played his last snap with the Rams. Then a week later, Henderson was cut and Akers became the starter. Yeah, there was some interesting back and forth developments for sure. For sure. Polly Chips, what's going on? Hello, hello. Aaron Jones touchdowns. Here, let me make this draft pick very quickly. Well, I got a second here. Wow. Man, I'm literally tempted to go tight end because I feel like tight end has the best value on the board. I'm just going to take Gainwell. Yeah, I mean, I was close to taking Freiermuth. If I could go back in time, I would do it, Michael. But, like, literally, I just felt like Freiermuth or Cole Kmet, like, behind Kelsey is, like, the best available value, but, oh, well. I mean, there's a couple decent... I mean, I'm going to have to draft a receiver here. Freiermuth and Kmet, I like it. I just want to be done with running back. Give me Alexander Madison. I'll clean up a receiver in the draft. Aaron Jones touchdowns. Here we go. 7. Same amount as A.J. Dillon last year. But Aaron Jones finished as your RB9. Where Dillon finished as RB26. And full PPR, that is. Jones, 395 receiving yards. Dillon, 206. Dillon, 770 yards on the ground. And Jones, 1,120 yards on the ground. Jones had 5 touchdowns through the air, just 2 on the ground. I don't know. I think it's a little bit dangerous to maybe pay attention too much to their numbers from like the last 2 seasons, even though that's the sample size we have really. But I just think this offense could look a little bit different overall, be a different scheme with Jordan Love as the starting quarterback. So, but I do think both Jones and Dillon are good values at where they're going. Let's see. Katz says, give me the whole Bills offense. Uh-oh. We got Diggs, Allen, Cook. Okay. I mean, you're pretty close. You gotta get Knox. Andrew says Tyler Bass signed. Woo. Yeah, you got a big extension. 4-year extension, $12 million guaranteed off the top of my head. Polly, as an Eagles fan, the Bijan info today has me hoping. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit towards the beginning of the stream. So I do think if you're an Eagles fan, and obviously there's already been rumors that the Eagles could likely pursue Bijan within the draft. I mean, they have the 10th overall pick, correct? But you look at the long-term contract for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles' investment in Jalen Hurts. Long-term, I would assume that they want him to run the football less. So I think it's a good thing if Bijan does go there, obviously. I mean, on top of that, we know that Nick Sirianni's offense runs the football a ton. So I just think trying to protect Jalen Hurts, locking down a stable running back who checks all the boxes like Bijan Robinson absolutely makes a ton of sense for the Eagles. As much as I like Kenneth Gainwell, and I think Rashad Penny as well as Boston Scott are viable options behind Gainwell, when you look at obviously how close the Eagles were to winning a Super Bowl, adding a piece like Bijan Robinson, and continuing to be a competitive team year after year just makes a ton of sense. So but I did think it was interesting, the report saying that Bijan's only met with the Bucs as well as the Eagles. But I don't, one aspect is like there could be plenty of teams who just don't feel like they needed to meet with Bijan Robinson. You know what I mean? Like they have other questions at other positions that are maybe more looming in terms of them needing to actually meet with a respective player. Where Bijan, I feel like is pretty straightforward, but I could be wrong. What do I know? So. Let's see. How do you feel about drafting tight ends and redraft? Do you like having more than one on your roster in a 10-team/12 team? After like last season where the tight end position was just an absolute bloodbath, I'm not necessarily against that, but you have to make sure you're not sacrificing value at other positions. Like, Michael going like Freiermuth and Komet tonight. Like, I like that combination a lot. I think if it's later round tight ends, it's okay, right? Like, if you get an Njoku and a Dolcic, you get Waller and you get Komet, like, combinations like that I think are okay. But like if you're getting Kelsey and Hawkinson, or like Andrews and Ingram, and like just spending too much draft capital, I'm not necessarily for that. Do I always think it's necessary to come out of a redraft draft with 2 tight ends? No. But do I understand that it happened? Like, that's the other thing, is sometimes you're just looking at the board and the best available player is a tight end. Like, when I chose Kenneth Gainwell and Freiermuth and Komet were sitting there, it's like I said, it was super tempting because I love both of those players going into next season. But obviously already having Kelsey just doesn't make sense. So here's another good example, like Emil going Dawson Knox in the 11th round, Evan Ingram in the 7th. Like, I think that's a good kind of overall value and a good balance as well. I mean, look at this team: AJ Brown, Hopkins, Ingram, Sutton. Like, I'd probably be drafting another receiver there, but there's still 3 more selections in this draft as well. I think in a redraft format, Jacobs, Pierce, Kamara, Fournette is okay as well, but a rookie running back, for example, and more receiver depth. And then obviously Emil has Herbert, so he's locked up there. So, like, I don't know. It just depends on the value of when you're drafting the tight ends, as well as who's your tight end 1, and are you going to sacrifice value at other positions as well. So, like if you get a Kelsey, you don't need to draft another tight end. I think Hawkinson, Goddard are in that conversation too. I know that's kind of a weird list with guys like Andrews, Pitts, and Kittle as well. But Kittle has the injury history. I don't mind drafting a guy behind him. Pitts, perfectly fine, but the offense is the problem. Then Andrews is fine too, but I feel like there's just a bit of a question mark when it comes to the Ravens offense at the moment. But I think Lamar is going to be there. I think Andrews will be fine. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I didn't answer that question very well. I feel like I just went all over the place. Eagles history shows we'll probably take a D or offensive lineman, but man, Bijan behind that line would be special. Yeah. Like, that's, I won't be surprised if the Eagles go offensive line, defensive line, even go for a secondary player as well. But if they go Bijan, I won't be surprised one bit. And, I know this sounds weird, but maybe it doesn't sound weird. You let me know as an Eagles fan. But I do think that the Eagles could draft a receiver in this draft as well. And I'm not talking like first or second round, but I think they're in a position where, Zach Pascal is the wide receiver 3. He's a good blocker. But you just think if you can add the right weapon next to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, it'd be pretty gnarly. Is Zach Pascal even the wide receiver 3, or is it Zacchaeus? That's right, Zacchaeus signed. I actually like that signing for the Eagles. Is Pascal even on the Eagles? Am I thinking of Watkins? Jeez. I don't know my Eagles depth chart very well. Hey, he's not even on the team, is he? Dude, was Zach Pascal ever on the Eagles? I'm having like a, I don't know, I'm freaking out inside. Was Zach Pascal on the Eagles? I need someone to answer it for me. I could just look it up, but I don't feel like it. I see you take DJ Moore a lot. What's your prediction for him this year? Do you think he provides Fields what A.J. Brown did for Hurts? So that's like the easiest comparison in recent memory. But do I exactly want to make that comparison? No. I still feel like, okay, Zach Pascal was on the team last season. Okay, I was like, dude, I'm not wrong about that, right? Yeah, but, like the season where 2 years ago, right, where the Eagles went to the playoffs, lost to the Buccaneers, took a lot of strides forward, still had some growing pains offensively and things like that. Like, I think the Bears are closer to that position. Like, I think the Bears could be a wild card team this year, but I do think they're going to take a step forward. And like every season when we start to see teams make big accusations like this, and from a fantasy standpoint, if you ignore it, I just feel like it doesn't pay off. Where if you start to kind of follow those trends of kind of, I'm going to say super teams, because not always necessarily a super team, but when teams start to stack up and really build something, I think it's smart to pay attention to that, So, yes, I like DJ Moore a lot. I do think the Bears are going to take a step forward next season. Really, undoubtedly in my mind, especially if Mooney's healthy. I just think that offensively this team looks good. I know a lot of people are worried about Fields or in terms of him passing the football and worried about this offense in general passing the football, but I just think that DJ Moore is going to have a good season this coming year. So, yeah. In redraft, I'm good at DJ Moore for sure. In Dynasty, I like him as well, but you've got to have the right wide receivers around him. So, okay, what an interesting team for me tonight. Yeah, I like DJ Moore tonight, but with Adams and Drake London. Because I think Drake London's going to also take a step forward next year in his sophomore year, and I think Adams a very stable piece. So I feel like that's a pretty good balance overall. All right, where do I want to go with this last pick? I feel like I need to take another receiver. Nah, give me Izzy. Give me Izzy. I mean, there's plenty of receivers I could have taken here, but I ended up having some way more running back depth than I thought, but I kind of needed to. I feel like Izzy's actually a pretty good pick there. What about Paris Campbell signing to the Giants? I mean, I like the move for the Giants. I don't know. We're just going to have to see what this Giants wide receiver room looks like come July or August. It's just a very loaded wide receiver room. Like, there are enough wide receivers on this team who have proven themselves within the scheme that we're going to have to kind of wait and see what happens, I mean, I think personally, I like Hodgins and Slayton and Robinson more than anyone. And you still got Shepard back too. So, I like the addition of Campbell, but we're going to have to figure out, especially with Waller there too, and Barkley still catches the football. So I don't know who Daniel Jones is really going to prefer within this offense, but I'd be willing to bet it's some of the players who he's been with a little bit longer, you know what I mean? I don't see Eagles taking a receiver. We just signed the old Falcons receiver to compete with Quez for wide receiver, and obviously AJ and Devontae are locked in. Yeah, just the thought, if the right wide receiver is there, maybe on the second or third day, and they really hit on the right wide receiver, I think it just, it'd be great, right? What 3 rookie tight ends should go in the second round 2023? Well, it depends because, quite frankly, in the first round, you could see 2, maybe even 3 tight ends go. We'll see. But, I mean, you got Mayer, you got Kincaid, you got Washington, but then, Musgrave, Kraft, and Laporta would probably be the next guys I would say should go. But it just depends on how many go on day one, right? All right, let's take a look at a couple teams here. You guys are already asking, so let's do some team reviews, and we'll start to wrap up for the night. So, all right, boss man, what we do, my guy? Late round quarterback build. We got Kyler and Cousins. I mean, honestly, for redraft, I have nothing against that. I think Kyler's going to be just fine once he comes back and he's fully healthy. How about the Cardinals' new uniforms? Kind of meh. Andrews at tight end, you're good there. Henry, Etienne, Pirine, Mitchell. Good values on Pirine and Mitchell. I like Mitchell as a handcuff situation. I suppose Pirine's in a handcuff situation too, but she'll get some more immediate beginning of year snaps, right? Henry and Etienne's fine. Hill, Judy, Dotson, Quinn Johnson, Lazard, Jones, Downs. Obviously, it depends on Johnson's and Downs landing spots, but I think overall the wide receiver room looks pretty good to me. You're starting Cousins to start the year. Not as high of a ceiling, of course, but he's fine. Andrews, Henry and ETN, Hill and Judy. Probably flexing Dotson and Lazard, so I like the core lineup. Johnston, Pirine, Mitchell, Jones, Downs, Kyler on the bench. Good team, man. Yep. Just a good, solid team. Michael. What's up, dude? How are you? Late round quarterback build. Once again, we got Goff and Carr. I'm okay with that. Not a crazy high ceiling. I do think Goff could take a step forward next year. Maybe the Lions offense as a whole is really what's going to take a step forward. Fryermuth and Komet, love it. Love the tight end room. Walker, Najee, Sanders, Herbert, Wilson. I'm okay with that. St. Brown, Cooper, Ayuk, Cooks, Mooney. A little thin at receiver. In a double flex format, I don't know if I want to come out of a draft with, 5, I guess, is okay, but I would want to be closer to 6. But he went 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, so that's really where it's stemming from. But starting Goff and Fryermuth, Walker and Harris, St. Brown and Cooper, flexing Ayuk, and I'm going to argue Sanders, which leaves Herbert, Cooks, Komet, Mooney, Wilson, Carr on the bench. Even though you don't have like extraordinary depth at receiver, for example, you have depth elsewhere, and you've got a good core roster, so I'm still okay with this team. How do you feel about it, man? Chase, what we do tonight? Lamar and Dangerous. Okay, I like that combo. Schultz and Nkonkwo, I'm okay with. Eckler, Jones, Rashad White, most start. Okay, I'm good at that. A little thin at running back, but it is what it is. Higgins, Allen, Kirk, Thielen, Beckham, and Hyatt. Pretty good receiver room, too. So you're starting Lamar, hopefully. Starting Schultz. Maybe Nkonkwo. It just depends, I guess. Starting Eckler and Aaron Jones. Higgins and Keenan Allen. Flexing Kirk. I'm going to argue you're flexing Rashad White, which leaves you with Thielen, Beckham, Mostart, Hyatt, Nkonkwo, and Wilson on the bench. Pretty good team. Yeah, I like the core roster for sure. Depth is a little interesting, but I think it's okay. How do you feel about it? Taylor Gang at the 1.4 tonight. We got Jalen and Geno. You're good there. Waller and Higbee. You're good there. I don't know if I'm drafting Geno if I have Hurts, but I get with, the injuries, and I guess that's fine. Dual threat quarterback. But I would try to hold off a little bit longer and maybe get a Goff, Jones, Tua. But that's okay. Geno's the man, I guess. C-Mac, Pollard, Akers, Tucker, Miller. Got to see where Tucker and Miller land, but other than that, running back room looks good. Wilson, Lockett, J-Mo, Flowers, Chark. I'd be a little queasy with this wide receiver room. Wilson and Lockett are fine. J-Mo brings a ton of upside. Good boomer bust piece. Flowers is a great value at 9.4. I feel like you like Chark. I feel like he's a guy you go after. So, I guess I'm okay with that. You're starting Hurts, Waller. Do you think it's smart to draft a second tight end behind Waller? C-Mac and Pollard, Wilson and Lockett. Probably flexing Akers and J-Mo to start the year. It's fine. It's fine. That's the beauty of redraft. You're going to have trades and the waiver wire and all that. So you could fix it up. Coast to coast at the 1.3. Prescott and Jones, Pitts and Dolchich, good value on your quarterbacks and tight ends tonight. Cook, Connor, Dobbins, Foreman, McIntosh, you look fine there. Kupp, Waddle, Devonta Smith is beautiful. Added Tony and Mechie. That's fine. Get some upside. Yeah, this team is good. You have, options at tight end, quarterback, running back looks fine. I would have liked to see a little bit more receiver depth one way or another, though. But nonetheless, you're starting Prescott and Pitts, Kupp and Waddle, flexing Smith, starting Cook and Connor, flexing Dobbins. So, core roster looks good. Tony and Mechie give you some upside. Foreman, McIntosh, Dolchich, Jones on the bench is pretty good. So, I do like the team tonight, man. Kupp, Waddle, Devonta Smith, very, very nice. Box and the Jack. We got Burrow and Njoku. You're good there. Stevenson, Gibbs, Swift, Harris, Hunt, Bigsby. I'm good with that. I don't know how soon Gibbs is going to get touches, but I'm so good at that. Chase, Olave, Mike Williams, Addison, Moore, and more. So we're starting Burrow and Njoku. Stevenson and Swift. Chase and Olave, flexing Mike Williams and flexing Jordan Addison. I mean, Elijah Moore and Rondo Moore options there as well, and Gibbs an option. So you've got good options at your second flex, but you have to kind of figure out who's going to be the most stable for you. But team looks pretty good. How do you feel about it, man? The Burrow and Chase stack is nice too. Cats at the 1.7. What do we do tonight, man? Allen at QB. Good late round tight ends in Jawan Johnson and Hayden Hurst. Hall, Charbonnet, Cook, Gibson, Roschon Johnson. How do you feel about the running back room? Hall and Charbonnet could absolutely pay off. Cook and Gibson, good pieces. I like Roschon Johnson too. We got to see where he lands. Diggs, Watson, Godwin, Pittman, Burks, Davis. Yeah. Bill's offensive night, huh? So starting Allen and Jawan Johnson. Hall and I'm going to say Cook to start the year. Diggs and Watson flexing Godwin and Pittman, but you've got Burke, Charbonnet, Gibson, Gabe Davis, Hurst, Roschon Johnson on the bench. It's a pretty good team. Have to figure out in that RB2 spot who's going to be the most consistent. It's pretty good. How do you feel about it, man? Astra, what we do tonight, man? Fields, say no more. Kittle and Otten, I like that combo. Chubb, Algier, Brian Robinson, Spears, and Acne. I like that you guys are going after those rookie running backs, even in our redraft mocks. Just got to see where they land, right? JJ, Metcalf, McLaurin, Thomas, Bateman, Osborne. Like the wide receiver room. I like this team a lot. Starting Fields and Kittle, Chubb and Algier, JJ and Metcalf, McLaurin in the flex, and Brian Robinson in the flex, I would argue. Michael Thomas, Bateman, Spears, Osborne, Acne, Otten on the bench. I like that team a lot. Yep, solid team, man. Doug, crack your ankle tonight. I can't even crack my ankle. I do need to go to the chiropractor, my dude. I need to get adjusted so bad. I'm drinking a Waterloo, per usual. OG members of the stream know. The Waterloos come out when I stream. So this is orange vanilla. It's super good. Okay. Let's take a look at my squad. In terms of team of the night, man, I felt like the value across the board was pretty well balanced. Like, I don't feel like anyone really jumped out at paper. I actually like Astra's team. I do, but it's tough tonight, man. I feel like you guys brought some competitiveness tonight for sure. I'll take a look at reverse as well before we look at my team. We got Watson and Tua. You're good there. Goddard. You're good there. JT, Barkley, Javonte, Zeke, and Patterson's a good running back room. I mean, Patterson's the biggest question mark, but as your last running back off the board, it's probably just fine. But you could go, maybe wait another round or so and go with a rookie there, I guess. Debo, Ridley, Hollywood, Pickens, Dobbs, and Samuel's fine at wide receiver. I like this team. This is a good team, actually, yeah. Starting Watson or Tua, just depends, I guess, on what defense they're facing. Starting Goddard, JT and Barkley. Starting Debo, Ridley, flexing Hollywood and Pickens. You still got Javonte, Zeke, Patterson, Dobbs, and Samuel on the bench. I like this team a lot, actually. Yeah, I do really like this team. That might be close for team of the night. I'm not going to lie. I feel like the core roster's good. Flex position's good. Bench is good. Yeah. Good late round quarterback build tonight. All right, so I went T-Lock quarterback. I love that. Kelsey, good there. Kind of a weird draft, though. Kelsey in the first, loaded up at receiver, then kind of just let a quarterback fall to me and just duked it out at running back. So Adams, DJ Moore, London, DPJ, Tyler Boyd, Shaheed at receiver. I mean, I feel like DPJ, Boyd, and Shaheed are good values. At running back, we got Monty, Pacheco, Dylan, Gainwell, Madison, and Izzy. So, there's some argument for committees here, but at this point in the offseason, I feel like those guys are good value. We just don't have that off the wall stud running back, But I think this team's decent, but it's missing a little something, I'll admit. Starting T-Law and Kelsey, that's beautiful. Starting Monty and Pacheco, like, I'm good with that. We'll leave Dylan, Gainwell, Madison, and Izzy on the bench. There's a good depth on the bench. Starting Adams and DJ Moore, flexing Drake London. Then that second flex, like, I mean, we have the option of DPJ, Tyler Boyd, or Rashid Shaheed. And then the rest of those running backs, Dylan, Gainwell, Madison, and Izzy. So I like this team, but I just feel like it's missing like that. I don't know. Missing just something. I don't know what it is. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that looks like we hit all the team reviews. And I guess we're wrapping up for the night. So if you guys do want to run an off-air mock, you guys can get it organized on Discord, and I'll hop in with you guys. If you guys do want to run another one tonight, whether it's Dynasty or Redraft, I'll hop in with you guys and hang out and everything. So, yeah, man. Thank you guys for those of you who drafted with me. Thank you to everyone who came out and spent part of your night here at the channel. Yeah, man. Cats, I like your team. Crown yourself. Okay, I'll take it. You guys can decide that. But, yeah, I do feel like it was pretty even par across the board tonight. Some tough decisions for you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for hanging out, man, talking fantasy, and get another mock draft down with me. So make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Check out the links down below. Follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord. It's the best way to get invites to our mock drafts overall. And, yeah, man. Love you guys. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. Thank you guys for everything that you guys continue to do throughout the offseason. I really, really do appreciate all of your guys' support. And I just enjoy drafting with you guys and being able to talk fantasy football with you guys. So, Boxing the Jack, Astra, Cats, Josiah, and Brianna Jones, Matt, Chase, Doug, Bossman, Michael, Polly Chips, Coast to Coast, Chase, Andrea, Thomas, Prey, J-Dubs, Mr. Curly Wolf, Smokey the Cat, and everyone else who stopped by, everyone else who hung out or listened in. Thank you guys so much for spending part of your night here at the channel. Really do appreciate you guys. And that'll go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Hit me up on Discord or Instagram if you guys need anything. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch. And